Riders, we're in southern Germany at the Rocky Mountain Bike Park, and I'm kind of thinking I probably should be riding a Rocky Mountain bike. What do you think? Oh, I have one! And Flo is here from Rocky Mountain.
Hey.
Welcome to the channel. Riders, welcome back to Sam's Bikes, where you know we only talk e-bikes. And Flo, welcome to the channel. Mate, thank you for your time.
Thank you for inviting.
Oh, mate, no problem. And we're going to do some riding, we're going to do some technical climbing. Flo is an ex, or still BMXer, and free rider. You know, he's got some skills. I was doing my homework last night. This guy can ride a bike. I'm a little bit scared. Now, a couple of months ago, I did my review of the Rocky Mountain Altitude. And there was a bit of mixed sort of comments on the channel talking about, I found like the cadence I had to get quite high, and maybe like half the riders agree with me, and maybe half the riders said, hey Sam, read the manual and do the calibration on the torque sensor. So I did reach out to Flo, we talked a little bit, and he did agree, said read the manual or just talk to me. So first point of call, we're gonna do that calibration. Sure. And we're also going to get some tips from the pro here about how to get the most out of the Rocky Mountain Powerplay bikes. And then we're going to do some tech climb, and then we're going to do some downhill.
Sure.
And then we might have a German beer.
Or two.
Or two. Okay, so first up, we're going to calibrate the torque sensor. Now show us how to do it. Is it easy?
It's totally easy, Sam. So we figured it out with from the old one to the new one. It's just 1 or 2 clicks about that.
Okay, show us how to do it.
You have to push the enter button, so the top button on the iBook.
Yep.
So push them 3 seconds.
Yep.
You come into a menu right here on the display.
Okay.
So you have set power, and you go into the settings with this button.
Yep.
Then you have calibration. Push another button, and then everything else you can read right here.
Yeah, all the instructions are there.
Yeah. So no pedal push.
Yep.
Still standing. The gears on the lowest one, so in the first
gear.
First gear, and then push the button again to start the calibration.
And how often should you be doing that?
Normal-wise, the display will show you if you have to do that. So you have an error code on there, and the error code you can read by yourself or by a QR code or something else. So it's really simple.
And probably riders like myself, if they're experiencing really high cadences or low cadences, that would be the first point of call.
That's the first point of call.
Okay, so then we press start, which is that button there.
On this button, and again, the enter one, in progress.
And how long does that take? Oh, done.
Yeah.
So
less than 3 seconds.
Okay, perfect. So my next question is there an app or application for your phone for the Powerplay system?
No. We starting in the first row with the Powerplays. They had an app. But right now, we just to say, focus on the bike, focus on the ride, just our riders love the ride.
Okay.
So that means you don't have to focus on your app. So what you have to do next, like this here, set up, right? You can set up your bike only on your bike itself, on the display.
So a little recap for the riders. So this is the Dyname 4.0. This is a Rocky Mountain owned motor, has 108 Newton meters of power, 720 watt hour battery. And so you do all the tuning inside the display here with the remote.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, now, I also got some comments saying, I didn't set it up properly. You know, like so you got boost, so it comes in a neutral setting of 0, and you can go -1, -2, and +1 and +2.
That's true.
In boost. Now, boost is not an assistant mode. It's actually like giving more assistance on all the modes.
Yeah.
So you have ludicrous, which is the top one.
That's the top one.
So how would you set the bike up?
I set up with 98% with ludicrous. So you can set up every mode in 1% steps. So up or down.
Yeah.
So if you don't put it on 100%, so the batteries get on longer. And it's
more range.
More range.
And also I want to mention, riders, absolute range monster. This we got with the 720 watt hour battery, 1,780 meters. I didn't want to ride anymore. It was a long day in the saddle. Can you show us how you would set up your bike?
For sure. You turn on the bike, push the button again, 3 seconds
Yep.
to get into the menu.
Yep.
So the first point you see it's set power.
Yep.
Push the button again, so we see all the 3 different power settings.
So there's 3 profile settings. So we've
3
got
profile settings. Factory, it's be neutral, so on the boost, neutral.
Yep.
Eco, 25%, 45% in the trail, then trail plus with 70 or 75, and ludicrous with 100%.
Yep.
So if you go down to tune A, you see that boost is also 0, Eco, trail plus, everything like that. So with the buttons right here and on the top, you can choose your own. You can choose your own mode.
Yep.
What you want. So right now we're in the boost, but it's 0. If you push them up for 2,
Yeah.
it'll be on the +2.
Yeah.
So setup.
Done. Super simple.
It's totally easy. If you know, or if you read the menu, it's totally simple.
I should have read the manual. I didn't have a manual. So also riders, Flo can ride a bike pretty well. We're going to see that in a minute. But there's a lot of new riders to the e-bike market. How would you recommend they set up their power play?
For beginners or who's never before riding a Dyname motor from Rocky,
Yeah.
I think you have to start with a factory setup.
Okay.
Because it's really, really strong. If you want to have it stronger, for sure, you can set up with your own boost mode and +1 or +2. So it's, you know, it's growing up together with a bike.
So the e-bike part is set up, but let's talk a little bit about the bike. Because when I was in Australia, I had an extra large, which had a reach of about 500, definitely too big for me. And also, what I really like about Rocky Mountain is it has a flip chip at the back. So you can go from 437 to 447 with a flip of the chip. Not many companies do that. I think it's really good because shorter bike, you can have a shorter chain stay, longer bike, you can have a longer chain stay, making it feel more balanced. Now, how long does it take to change that chip over, that flip chip?
The flip chip, maybe 5 minutes, because you have to turn on the gears and also the brake.
Yep.
So you have flipped it 180, and yeah.
And that's compatible with the aluminium and the carbon models?
Yeah.
Okay, and then also you have a 4-point flip chip in the shock mount here. How does that work? How quickly can you do that?
That's really easy. So
Yep.
it's 4-position geometric, different style of the bike.
Yeah.
So you can choose the really steep one, really flat one, and 2 between, because ever you want to ride.
Yeah.
And if you do it before, maybe 10 seconds on the trail. So
Okay,
that's
so
easy.
super fast.
Yeah.
And this is a 29er at the moment, but you know, I'm so enduro these days. I love riding a mullet setup, and you can do this on the carbon models.
Yeah, only on the carbon models. You only have to change the shock mount to
Yep.
an MX mount,
Yep.
which is a little bit shorter than the normal one. So the shock is getting more in the back because you have a smaller wheel in the back. So it's getting similar to the same geometric
Yep.
than the 29er. But the suspension works about lines and everything like that. So it's much better than with a 29er.
Okay, sweet. So, recap, you got a geometry change in the back, you've got 4 here, and you can go mullet.
Yeah.
That's a pretty versatile bike.
Yeah, it's like you know, rocket engineer, something like here and here and here and everything. You can turn
It's
on
pretty-
your perfect bike for you.
It's pretty cool. So we're gonna go now, we're gonna set it up mullet, then we're gonna go out in the trails, do some tech, do some downhilling. There's a jump line that Flo said he's gonna show us how to do it. Let's go.
We'll see. See ya.
You feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, might break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never lack those. She saw the stone, you know how that go. Fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door, she at the back, bro. All I really take is a little taste. Island girl, blue eyes with a little bass. Here for the thrill, I don't need a chaser.
So we've been out on the bikes for the last half an hour, more or less. Flo has been schooling me how to do skinnies. I've been trying to keep up with him. You will see I'm fully armored up here, going to war. I'm gonna eat my own words. The calibration of the torque sensor is way better. Also the settings that Flo did. So we're +2 in boost. And you're gonna see it now. We're gonna cross to the Insta36. We're gonna go up and do a like super techie steep climb.
Obsessed with nature, now the world, my
what I've noticed, look at the low drag. This is really steep. My cadence is about 20. Now it's not bogging down at all. It is steep and loose. But look, when I put down the power, it's definitely like, I'm climbing like, honestly riders, this is really steep. And what I really like about the motor, it's on and off. Like look, that's off. So it's really controllable on this steep tech. I'm not even like, I don't even know if I can make that. Yeah, so really impressed. Definitely the tuning that Flo did has made it way better. And I really think the problem was the calibration of the torque sensor. Like this is crazy steep. I'm not even sure how we're getting up this, and I'm not, no! We stopped up because I made a bit of a mistake, and it's super steep and really controlled start. Like normally on, you know, some of the motors starting up on really steep tech is difficult. And I just slid out a little bit, and again, we're going to show you how we start up. Flo's saying I have to stand up. Oh. Oh. Cleans it. So Flo, do you think we should do a bit of mountain biking at some point?
After this radler?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, sweet.
Cheers.
No mate, cheers, thank you so much. Brilliant ride. Hospitality again in Germany's turned it on. We're drinking a Radler, which is like a lemon beer. Really nice. This looks like sort of a local brew. And cheers again for setting the bike up, calibrating the torque sensor. Definitely, I will eat my words. There was something wrong with that back in the, like 3 months ago. I found the sweet spot of the cadence pulling about 100. And now when we did all the setup, it started pulling at about 75 and about 85. It was where it was really getting into like power band, like where, and we did some epic steep hill climbs.
Oh yeah, we did.
And Flo took me over a jump trail. Gotta scare myself a little bit sometimes. And you can really ride, man. Like for a marketing manager, you ride pretty good. Definitely one of the better marketing managers for riding. So take homes were, today I had it in the large with the short chainstay again, but as a mullet. For my liking, it was better. Obviously the suspension wasn't completely tweaked because we rode for a few hours, but the bike felt fun. What I said initially about this bike was, it's a 170, 160 enduro bike, but it doesn't exactly, like it's not a big, like cumbersome bike. It's still fun bike, like it's a poppy fun bike to ride.
Something like Rocky says, love the ride, you know?
Love the ride, yeah.
You can choose it for racing, you can choose it for bike park riding, you can choose it also for a normal tour around the Alps or somewhere else on the world. Yep. So at the end, yeah, it's important to love the ride.
Yeah, definitely. So for me, I think like being Rocky Mountain is not one of the big mountain bike brands. I think it's very impressive that they designed their own motor, battery, remote, display, all that. And after you setting it up properly, doing a calibration, reading the manual to me. Cheers. I was really impressed. I definitely think it is like, for the fitter rider, that cadence is not as crazy as I thought. I think the sweet spot's about in 75, 85, somewhere around there, not 110 that I did have. Yeah, I think it's a different system. And I think it's an interesting system for the riders out there to try and see how they get on with it and fit into it, because it is, as I said, it's a mountain biker's e-bike. I think it's rewards, like knowing what gear to be in, knowing how to get the right cadence. It rewards that type of rider, I think.
Yeah, totally. It's more for sporty people than a normal e-mountain bike, you know. So it's also not an e-bike, it's more like an e-mountain bike.
Yep.
So that way Rocky builds up this bike or this Powerplay because we have a good, or for us, perfect geometric, perfect frame.
Yep.
We don't want to take a system out of the market and build a frame around this motor.
Yep.
But how everybody else do that. We want to create a new style. We want to create a new step in this market. So that's why we pick up our frame, our geometry, and engineered a new motor or a new engine for the frame, not a frame for the motor.
Yep, yeah.
And that's what the idea behind all this story, Powerplay and Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, no. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, mate. Thank you for a great day. And like always, riders, if you have any questions, Flo's email will be at the bottom. No, it won't. No, it won't. Put it in the comments, riders, and I'll answer them. If I don't know, I'll ask Flo and we'll definitely get back to you. And riders, stay safe out there, and we're going to see you next week.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.